up, people? Gideon Prime Truth Chasers, what's going on? I'm gonna put this on my Apex's Gideon channel, and the name of this video, I'm gonna call it Manhood and Fatherhood are under attack. Manhood and fatherhood are under attack all over the world, and especially in this country. I'm going to play for you guys some Exhibit A, Exhibit B. I'm going to show you some commercial. One commercial is in national syndication, and another one is a local tri-state commercial. So some of you may not have seen this. It pertains to the tri-state area. But this first one is going to be a local commercial. Some of you guys will recognize this, and I'm just going to play it, and I'm going to see, if you guys could pick up on this and what this really means, because it's all about what things mean. Let me roll the clip.
Wink at me? Get a bubble bottle with me. I would share a shawarma with me. Wow. One shawarma. We will share. I'd snuggle up with me. I'd invite me up to watch a movie. You have a honeymoon with me. I'd me.
Shave, style, groom. Phillips Norelco. More power to you.
Now, we pause it there. Some people might not understand what I'm trying to say when I play that, or what I mean, but think about this. This video is propagating or promoting that men should have a woman's point of view. Second point, this video is making men, so self-conscious about their looks and about their appearance, to where it is you're starting to become more like a female. And I'm not trying to say this video is doing it, but this is a broadcast, and for the people that are not strong enough in their spirit to resist this would be equivalent to like a seed being put in your heart and allowing to grow. And if you don't uproot this type stuff, this will grow into the heart of the masses, which is already happening. And then you're gonna have men that are feminine across a country and women that are masculine. So you have a guy here talking about how he would, have sex with himself, because he's trying to see himself from the point of view of a woman, instead of just doing it just by being yourself. But leave your comments and leave your comments down below and let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna play my second video. This is the one that is more to the tri-state area, so a lot of you may not have seen this in other parts of the country, except for the people in the tri-state, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area. But let me just play this.
Toast, cereal,
eggs,
oatmeal,
waffles.
What should we see?
Spy Trap.
Bite night.
Mr. Moonshine.
Let's stick together.
At Optimum, we know it's hard to keep everyone happy. That's why we'll always make sure everyone gets the bandwidth they need. What you do online is up to you. Creating the network that keeps everyone connected is down to us.
Now, do you see what that means right there? This is supposed to be the prototype black family, and you see what they did to the supposed father. He is equal with the kids. He's one of the kids. It's like the woman is the one that's the sensible one, and the man is like one of the kids, like I said before. What does this mean? And I'm not trying to say that these are just small examples of what has been going on in this country for decades. This spirit, I don't know if you want to call it a Jezebel type spirit, this feminist spirit has been working on the hearts of the men for decades. And And this is why this country has eroded to this point that we see right now in 2013. Manhood, fatherhood is under attack. You know, and the men that are not affected by this, that have not had their mentality and their point of view turned from a masculine one to a feminine one, then if that doesn't work, then they clog up your brain or your mind, they clog up your mind and your spirit with sports. So you can never connect and be a man in reality. In reality, you're just a drone. Like, you go to work, come home, but you never have a chance to express your manhood, your mentality, your logical thinking skills in reality. Everything is how you can analyze sports and hip-hop, video games. You could never analyze. Using your manhood in reality is shunned, is almost starting to become forbidden, so to speak. I'm going to play some of this stuff again, and I want it to sink in.
What should we see?
Spy Trap.
Fight Night.
Miss Moonshine.
As you can see, she's saying, what should we see? She is literally the man in this, and he is literally the woman. She's pushing the car. This is... Oh, man.
Let's stick together.
She's the sensible one.
At Optimum, we know it's hard to keep everyone happy.
She's shaking her head like, y'all crazy. She's the sensible one. She's the new modern man, and he is one of the kids. I'm going to play this section of the video right here. Hip-hop culture as conditioning towards perpetual childhood. And it's not only the hip-hop culture, it's sports. But let me just play this.
And taught that complete heterosexuality is intolerance and not politically correct, and that it is comical for men to dress and act sometimes like homosexuals.
That's all I'm saying. That doesn't mean that I'm gay or anything like that. But I'm just saying, if I was to go there, okay, so he's my first choice. I'm not gay. I'm just saying that's nice.
This is what's going on.
The media has programmed both sexes to view open acts of female bisexuality as appealing and even commonplace.
Actually very sweet, and we used to be very close.
Wait a minute. She's not the one who you...
Who you was?
Yes. Wow.
Well, what? Who you was?
It's not a big deal. They were leather.
What?
Women have been brainwashed into seeking out sensitive,
So sensitive. He's so sensitive.
humorous,
I go for your money.
and pliable men, which is completely contrary to the driven, strong-willed, emotionally reserved, and non-impulsive male, which in millennia past spearheaded the survival of our species.
I'm going to pause that right
Reality.
there. This is how manhood used to be. You could watch something as simple as Leave It to Beaver or The Rifleman, and how these men carried themselves, their demeanors, and like he said, emotionally reserved. You can even see it on their faces.
To the driven,
This is how we used to be depicted. Somebody that wasn't a joke. Even something early hip hop with Rakim, you used to have that song, I Ain't No Joke. Now it's like dudes have no problem coddling under a female. It's almost like the female is the covering instead of the man in this new age stuff. And of course all of that is just dead wrong.
Strong-willed, emotionally reserved, and not
emotionally reserved. Where you see the look on her face? She is free to be girly because of a strong-willed man that doesn't need to prove anything to anybody, that is content in his own skin and doesn't have any personality deficits. So he had a man in his life to show him what being a man is in his father. So now he is free to be a man and a father, a healthy man and a healthy father that can spearhead the future of a country.
unimpulsive male, which in millennia past spearheaded the survival of our species. In reality, funny men are seen as playmates by their children and pets by their women, and seldom taken seriously.
Russ. You're pretty.
Meanwhile, both sexes have been indoctrinated to dress in ways contrary to traditional gender models.
Crazy. Crazy. It's getting crazy. They brainwashing us, man. Look at this. This is cool now. Yeah. You see this? These are people that sell millions of records. Millions. Your kids are listening to this stuff and are being brainwashed right under your noses, parents. But we're too busy watching sports to know. And as this video plays on, it's getting real crazy out here. I just wanted to mention this.
Ladies, I think it's time to switch roles.
And that's in one of Sierra's videos in the past, If I Were a Boy and everything. I'm going to end the video right here. I want this to sink in with you guys, man. And, I showed you 2 exhibits, and I even played, an excerpt from a video, Hip-Hop Culture as Conditioning Towards Perpetual Childhood. This is part 2. And I want you guys, man, to really, think about this and even see how this relates to something in the video game community, to where everybody wants to keep it in a realm of fantasy. And when I say keeping your manhood in fantasy, is like people want to complain about things but never want to do nothing about it in reality. And if you try to do something about it in reality, people attack you. The people that want to keep it in fantasy attack. Slander, strawman fallacy, ad hominem attacks. All of these things are being done to keep you in fantasy, to keep you in imagination. Whether, for example, if you like something, the reason why you might like something is fantasy, or if you dislike something, the way you do something about it is in fantasy. It's not pertaining to reality. Even something as simple as sports, being a fan, liking LeBron James, getting ready to argue and go to back with LeBron James, a person that doesn't know you. You're willing to get in fights and arguments. And you live through this stuff. ESPN, First Take. Sports is drawing men away from reality and leaving them in a fantasy, so that the only way you could relate with other men is through sports and hip-hop and video games. You try to tell somebody save 65, like how I used to do in the Madden movement and stuff like that. Oh, now you're a hater now, and you're trying to tell men what to do with their money. This is something that is an epidemic in this country. I wanted to bring this to light, and I'm going to end the video here. 15 15 minutes. Truth Chasers 1. I just wanted to add this on to the video just to let you know what's really going on. This is a guy, Nicholas Streck. He's deep in this whole satanic wolf thing, and I just want you to hear his words to end this video out, man, just to make you think.
As far as your attitudes towards your own people?
Well, we are in control because basically we are not a political organization, we are an occult organization. We're working behind the scenes to manipulate the way that people think. The war that we are waging is a guerrilla war on the human mind. And we use musical frequencies, the dominant frequency, which I've referred to before, and symbolism and imagery to awaken dormant aspects of the human mind.
Isn't it difficult to get club dates and things like that? Obviously, once...
Well, we no longer are working in the context of that whole sphere of activities. We are moving into a much more elitist direction. We're only seeking individuals who are competent and who are willing to take action. There's a lot of people who will be an audience or a spectator, but we want people who will act.
And I'm going to pause that right there. And this is the spirit that you are fighting against right now, man. This is all off the head. I'm just going off the head with this. I'm just going to play this one part that he says about the spirit.
On every front, in music, in literature. We're entering phase 2 of Radio Werewolf's operation. We're waging is a cultural war right now on every front, in music, in literature, utilizing the media against itself. What we're trying to do is bring back a resurgence of the Western European tradition that has been all but lost in the world. And we're using music because that's the instrument that young people respond to right now. We're doing propaganda directly to awaken the wolf in man, because the wolf is a symbol of Western European power and fury, and that's why we use the werewolf imagery.
Now you have used what you had termed neo-Gothic music in the past.
Well, Gothic, of course, is a Germanic tribe, and there's a spirit to the Western people that is unique in the world, and it is a Gothic spirit, and I think that's the purest form of Western culture, and I think we keep that flame alive in Radio Werewolf.
I understand you're talking about the evolution of this, that your music is getting more into the political...
Well, our music, well, I wouldn't say political, because we transcend politics. Politics is merely the puppet show of human beings, and we transcend that, but we are interested in the control of human beings for our own purposes.
See, it's always been about control. Always. And this is not something that's new. This is not something that, because I just started talking about it, like, oh nah, this is some new stuff that is on the plate or on the docket that we have to deal with all of a sudden. This is something that's been here. We've been under control. This country has been under attack for decades. So, this is not nothing new. Everybody's a spirit. We are all spirits. And everything is spiritual. But the scientists and the doctor, they come up with new terminologies and they try to redefine stuff. So now they say, instead of saying spiritual warfare, they say psychological warfare or psychological problems. This is all spiritual because you cannot touch your mind. There's a verse in the Bible that says to be renewed in the spirit of your mind. So everything has been and always will be spiritual and it will always be spiritual. And spiritual things are occurring and being expressed through our bodies, which is what we call reality as we know it now. So I want to end off this video by, inviting people to get to know the Lord Jesus Christ. And if you know him already, if he's anchored in your heart, I'd just like to encourage you and myself to try to dive in deeper, man. Try to read the word more. I mean, you can always get at me on Skype, anybody, anytime. My Skype name is Gideon_Prime. That's Gideon Prime, but Gideon_Prime. And we could get up on Skype anytime. I'm talking with lots of people here. I talk to people like Versus, MD, Regular Dave, Wiser Now, Hard 8 Times, B Fife. I mean, the list goes on. And, I invite anybody, to come and join us. We talk about all things. There's nothing forbidden, but we try to be sensible about what we're talking about. We try to be grounded, and we try to be open to truth, and we try to be closed-minded to ignorance and lies and propaganda. But we are all growing out. I need prayer. Everybody needs prayer. And I just like to invite people to get to know the Lord Jesus Christ for themselves, because it's a personal relationship. And it's not something that's strange, because it says in the Bible that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man can come to the Father but by him. He is literally the truth. So, I'll leave that with you. Truth chasers. 1.
I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary to one another, so that you do not do the things that you wish. But if you are led by the Spirit, you are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are evident, which are adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lewdness, idolatry, sorcery, hatred, contentions, jealousies, outbursts of wrath, selfish ambitions, dissensions, heresies, envy, murders, drunkenness, revelries, and the like, of which I tell you beforehand, just as I also told you in time past, that those who practice such things will not inherit the kingdom of God. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such there is no law. And those who are Christ's have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not become conceited, provoking one another, envying one another.